things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Five races left of the regular season. Some drivers are locked in, such as Bradley Wilson, Alan Dobbs, Blake Giglio, Quentin Stewart. And now, just recently, we've had Wolfenbarger on a streak of 2 races. Who's going to add their name to the list of drivers that are locked in for the final 16? Live for week number 9. It's QSR Next Gen Cup Series from Homestead Miami Speedway. The one in Goons 180 this week. The late evening will be under the lights by the end of this one. Qualifying is just finished up, and we've got a lot to talk about here in these final 5 weeks. A mile-and-a-half speedway where Alan Dobbs and Blake Giglio will most likely go at it, but Wolfenbarger looking to make it 3 in a row. And as I said before, we have 5 drivers that are locked in. Right now, the top spot going to Bradley Wilson. Go down to Mitchell Costner, 17 points out of the cut line. 3 points out for Galen Wunsch, who's riding right on the edge. Davis Greenwell near that line as well. Take a quick look at the schedule, and there it is. New Hampshire Motor Speedway coming up after Homestead. You have Rockingham in there, Darlington, some very unique racetracks to wrap up the season. And then it's back to the intermediate ovals at Kentucky Speedway. Then we go on to Las Vegas to start off the round of 16. The Talladega, kind of that anybody could win moment in those playoffs. Then you have really technical tracks such as Pocono and Watkins Glen. It's going to be a complicated scenario for a lot of these drivers, and these final weeks are really going to put them to the test. Take a look at Homestead Miami Speedway. Opened November 5th, 1995. Homestead, Florida, 1.5 miles, and with 18 degrees of banking in the corners. They steepened this banking back in the early 2000s, around 2003. They made the racing much better. Progressive banking, and a lot of these drivers are going to wall ride here tonight. It's going to get more and more spread out. There'll be multi-groove racing as the track breaks in. The bottom's probably where you're going to want to be, though, especially for the first stage, to help save those tires. We'll wait and see how these drivers fan out as we are under the lights here tonight. And here's the race analysis up on your screen. 120 laps, pit road speed limit 45 miles per hour. Then you have 2 green-white checkered attempts, 4 tire sets available, 100% fuel, and as always, that iRacing fixed setup. With that, though, it's time to go trackside and get the grid up on the screen. EOL penalty for the 51, the 22, and the 52 tonight. But starting on the pole, it's the 54 of Alan Dobbs with a 32.473. Blake Giglio will start to his outside. There's row number 1. Row number 2 belongs to Garrett Wolfenbarger. He's on a 2-win hot streak. John Fike will start in 4th position. Then the top 5 with Dylan Picklesheimer in the 9. Bradley Wilson to his outside. Wyatt Walker and Trevor Trego, 7th and 8th position. The top 10 with Al Likens and Mitchell Costner. 11th position, Ryan Philbrick. Kenny Frisbee starting in 12th position. 13th going to Galen Wunsch. Quentin Stewart starting here on the outside. Then you have 15th, Jason Blaney, Brent Allen. We've got 32 cars with Tony Burnlingson, Christian Ruck Regal. Back to 20th with Ryan Field, Jeremiah Nelson, Hayden James, John Walker. They're all getting set to go with Dowdy Thomas, Nathan Line, Justin Clapper. Here we go for week number 9. Green flag is out, and we're underway on Homestead. Trouble off the turn 4. Big crash down the front stretch. The 85 of Walker is in it. The 18, they're still crashing. Galen Wunsch needs to lock it down. We almost made it a full lap. Let's take a look at it. 85 gets loose. Nobody checks up. And from about 13th on back, they just pile in. Wisnowski locks it up, the 110. A lot of these drivers just look like they let off the brakes and just let it go. Starts up here with the 85 of Wyatt Walker. Running around 7th, 8th position. There's a car down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's what happened. Two cars coming to pit road, and they were up on the groove. I'm not sure who that was. Let's back this up one more time. The 51 trying to come to the pits. 85 tries to avoid it. And then it's chaos from there. And that's how fast it can happen here, but the 51 of Bradley Wilson was coming into pit road. I'm not sure if there was a pull-through penalty, what exactly the deal was. We have a drive-through penalty with the 110 of Jesse Gordon. Got the worst end of that. The right front completely collapsed in on that machine. He's just trying to salvage it to pit road. And this doesn't look like the race where he can win and get in. 110 going to be stuck on the pits for quite a while. Avid race fan in the chat, FP, welcome into the broadcast. As we got to turn 4, coming off of turn 4, first caution of the night. The 85 of Wyatt Walker trying to avoid the 51 who was coming to pit road. The 13 of Brent Allen, the 79 of Burlington, Galen Wunsch, the 110 of Jesse Gordon. Trevor Trago was involved as well. We still have cars out there on the racetrack with black flags, such as Nathan Lyon and Brantley Bryant. Did not have a chance to come down and serve that penalty under green. It's Alan Dobbs who led the first lap. He's led the first 4 now completed. Is Garrett Wolfenbarger on the outside. Blake Giglio fell back to 3rd, but the rest of the top 5 has not changed hands. Big moves here for some of these cars that didn't come down pit road. Austin Thomas has gained 15 spots. Fred Pennington up 20 from 31st. So a lot of these drivers electing to stay out. Some damage on the front of Austin Dowdy here. Interested to see if the 8 car can hold his own up near this top 10 or if he's going to fall out. Doubled back up. Let's try it again. Live here on V-Speed QSR Simulations on the iRacing simulation software. And a recent update to the new UI. iRacing's art updates and changes graphically, maybe noticeable, maybe not. Hopefully the frame rate's working good for Alan Dobbs. Into the restart zone, and here we go. Let's try it again. Good jump there for Dobbs into turn 1. 32 of Wolfenbarger on the outside. Giglio trying to get around his teammate. And some more black flags. Restart violations for Walker and Di Pasquale. Simmer on the outside. Middle lane here on the 65 of Fike. These two drivers know each other really well. You see the 9 of Picklesheimer way up high, taking that 3rd lane. Gonna get a run off of 2. Can't pull away from Fike. And the weather up on your screen right now, 79 degrees track temperature. That's gonna make it relatively easy for the bottom to work. But as the track breaks in, you get that rubber buildup on the bottom. You'll more than likely see these drivers migrate up towards the top. 35 of Austin Thomas has his hands full. Ryan Philbrick to the inside. In the middle here with the 51, the 22 into the wall for Austin Thomas just now. He bounces it, gets back to the throttle a little bit too soon on that outside line. Easy to do on board with the 35 car. And the caution is out. Back under yellow. Looks like Hayden James tows it to pit road here. And he will be the culprit of our second caution. It's loose off of 4, snaps it back to the right, tries to get on the throttle. Car turns towards the outside wall. A little bit of damage on that machine, probably not helping it. And he's having all kinds of issues. He took forever to get that car. It was broken. He could not get it back straight. But everybody that had a penalty, such as the 22, the 51, it looks like 52 as well. Nathan Lyon in the 38. All those drivers able to come down and serve their penalties there with that stint of about 4 laps. But Alan Dobbs continues to lead as we continue to tick these laps away. Stage at lap 36. 16 of Giglio. Looks like he's faking to pit road. Doesn't come down. 35 doesn't as well. But no entries onto pit road. We'll get doubled back up. The back half of the field coming down. A lot of these cars had damage from earlier. The big incident on lap 1. We'll see if we can go back to that incident on lap 1. See if we can go back to it. This was the initial start of the race. And we'll ride around with Brent Allen. We'll be coming out of turn 4. You'll see the 85 just ahead of this. Swerves to avoid. Snaps it back free, and then the chaos ensues. So that's how the race started for a lot of these cars that are down pit road. Not how you want your last 5 races of the regular season to begin. Especially since we only have 5 drivers that are guaranteed a spot here. And one of those drivers is leading the race right now. The other one to the outside. Another one in third. And had it not been for the penalty, we would probably see Bradley Wilson up here in the top 5. We're back up, ready to go green on lap number 12. Watching the wrong race. Well, it's easy to do. We have 3 other ones live right now here on V-Speed. Between BTDY and Goat Locker. We have QSR right now back live and racing at Homestead. 5 races left. And a challenge on the outside by Wolfenbarger on this restart. He matched Dobbs perfectly, pinches him down. They make some contact. Coming out of turn 2, they're going to ride each other's doors down the backstretch. They power out. They pull away from Fike by about 0.3 of a second. A pinch down again here into 3. When Dobbs able to drive ahead, he's going to slide up in front. Looking off the back of Austin Dobbs' machine. Wolfenbarger hot on the tail. A little bit of dirty air. Fike moves up to 3rd. They have Blake Giglio falling back a little bit here. We're 1/3 of the way through stage number 1. Bradley Wilson on the move on that high line. Look how close he is to the wall. Side by side back here for 11th position. That's Ryan Field inside of Austin Thomas. 10th spot up for grabs. Thomas runs the high line, scrapes the wall a little bit there. Then you have Trego in the middle just behind that as you'll watch Combs actually clear. That's actually the 81 of Field. And then it's Combs side by side. He'll clear in front of the 37 down on the inside. 99 of Quentin Stewart. Locked into the playoffs, but a spin just in front of Quentin Stewart. He misses it barely. Close call there for Quentin Stewart yet again. It's the 06 of Philbrook here. Al Likens just in front of him. Likens got up on the throttle a little sooner than the 06, got up into the back of him, and the 10 machine nowhere to go. Wyatt McCombs right on board with him. You see this just ahead. Holmes was actually about 3 cars back from this. But there's the contact, and we'll watch on board with the 3 in just a moment. You're trying to check up. You think the drivers are going to save it. You can't go to the outside. You got a freight train passing you. One more time on board with Likens. Top 7 cars elect to stay out. Actually, most of the top 10 electing to stay out. A few cars come in to top off with fuel. We got Philbrook down there as well with damage. Likens, Frinsby, Wunsch. A lot of these drivers still trying to repair damage from the beginning of this race. But we're going to get doubled back up in just a moment's time. You are watching QSR Next Gen Series action. The one in Goons 180 from Homestead will continue right after this.
Walking and Rolling Costumes started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
JS Racing. We're in.
Welcome back here to our coverage at Homestead, Miami, where Alan Dobbs fended off Wolfenbarger yet again, but a really bad restart in the back half of the pack. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. Be back on the instant replay. And watch back here towards the tail half of this field. On the outside, this is riding around with Burlington. Something goes way wrong here with the 40 and the 79. I don't know if this is wheel spin, but watch here. Yes, tire spin on the 40 car and a big checkup. Half the field split on lap 20. And that's what old tires will do. So we go back to our live shot here. Wolfenbarger falls back about 2/10, and then challenge here for the top 5 with Jason Blaney, Dylan Picklesheimer side by side, the 35 and the 9. Giglio, Thomas, and Picklesheimer. Thomas chipping away here on board with the 35 again. Side-by-side continues as Bradley Wilson has found his way to the top 3 for the first time tonight after serving his penalty and now up. Technically, after that stop and go, that drive-through penalty, it's actually a drive-through pit road. He fell all the way to the tail end of this field, but because of the cautions, he kind of elected to stay out after flipping that strategy. We got another yellow out on the racetrack, and it looks like John Fike is destroyed. He was running around the mid-pack here. Well, that is not what the caution was for here. He got damage on his own. Let's see if we can back up and find out what happened to him. I had to back this up quite a ways. He got loose on his own. Hits the inside pit barrels. But that is not what this caution comes out for. I'll have to take you back to the live shot and see if we can find where this yellow came out. Mitchell Costner is down pit road, so we'll back this up again. Costner's been down there for a while with a black flag. Hayden James had got back out on the racetrack. John Walker still on pit road. Not sure exactly where this yellow took place. Might be for the 85. Let's back this up for this one. And snaps it back, overcorrects. That's enough to bring out a caution. 85, Walker's Ridge Plantation machine. That Chevrolet has some front end damage now. That was the cause of the yellow as we pace around here. It's our 4th caution here tonight. And iRacing saying we've had some lead changes. Let's say it went back and forth between these two a couple times. Not really sure when that happened. All the racing that I've watched here up towards the front, I never saw the 32 actually take over the lead unless he's passing and messing with my telemetry under yellow. Yeah, iRacing's counting lead changes right now, so it's an ATVO issue that's actually causing the problem. We just added another lead change. And I would say the 32 passed him under yellow. And iRacing isn't going to count that as a lap led, but my telemetry might. Doubled back up with 10 laps to go in stage number 1. 4 tire sets available here tonight. Some drivers have already burned them. And they claw their way back up to the front in 10 laps, so they went to the tail half of this field. 30 cars still out on the racetrack. Jesse Gordon done for the day. John Walker, Mitchell Costner back out. Hayden James with a black flag, 8 laps down. 24 cars left on the lead lap with Nathan Line in 24th. Alan Dobbs going to hit the loud pedal. And here we are back underway at Homestead. And here we go again with the pinch down. The 32 of Wolfenbarger has matched Dobbs' restart several times. 51's loose. That's your points leader. He's able to save it, but he loses a ton of spots. He falls all the way back. to 18th position. Now in 20th, 48 car to the outside of Nelson. Back us up one more time here. He's going to get loose coming out of turn 2. Car just steps out on him. Everybody able to avoid it. Fantastic save there by Wilson. He has to start all over again. Looking 3 wide here with Quentin Stewart in 11th. Big run off of turn 2 for the 18 of Frisbee. He's going to push. Rodrigo gets contact with the 33 moving up the track a little bit too close to him there. 18 able to sneak through. He's going to put teammates side by side down the front stretch. And now we are 3 wide behind with Bilbrick. And Stewart, he's going to come through with a 2-for-1 special. Stewart makes contact with the 35 and holds on to it. Close call there. Stewart is all smiles into the top 10. Driver that is locked in after our race at Sonoma. We talked to him there post-race of any tracks that he would circle, and he said Watkins Glen. So he's focused on the road racing portion in this car. The QSR CEO, QSR Simulations 99. Picking up the places here just before stage break. That's what he needs. Eddie Frisbee also a little sideways there through 1. Thought he was going to get by Blaney on the inside. And here's another spot gain for Quentin Stewart. Maybe a checkup. Stewart's going to end up losing 2 positions because of Frisbee up there in the middle of the racetrack. He was about 30 miles per hour slower than the cars coming up behind him. Stewart now has to try to get back to the top 10. Meanwhile, you got Blaney, now the 33 sideways. Everybody getting loose off the corner, and that'll put Stewart up to 9th. But Alan Dobbs has pulled away from Wolfenbarger by half a second and growing. Blake Giglio back to 3rd. Maybe Giglio has something, but only 2 laps to go. I think it's a pretty tall order for a full second on the lead. Falls back a little bit more that lap. Wolfenbarger also losing a 10th. Clean Air playing well for Alan Dobbs. Picklesheimer a little bit faster than the guys in front of him, not by much. Trevor Trego in 5th position. Brantley Bryant just behind that. So a lot of the 1 and Goons cars up here in the top 10. The 51 of Wilson finally made it back up there. He's hot on the heels of Quentin Stewart. Stewart going after the 18 of Frisbee. One more time around for stage number 1. Here comes your points leader, Wilson, to the inside of Stewart. They're going to look 3 wide through 1 and 2. They're going to try to follow the 51 around his teammate there. Peaks in the middle and across the line. Alan Dobbs is going to win stage number 1. Dobbs, Wolfenbarger, Giglio, Picklesheimer, Trego, the top 5. Bryant, Blaney, Frisbee, Wilson, and Stewart for the top 10. All these drivers scoring stage points for race number 9. And it got pretty close there from 8th back to 10th. Stewart not able to complete that pass, but it's Alan Dobbs who gets stage number 1. After a few cautions and a shakeup or two, the 54 holds on to it. Look to see everybody come down pit road this time by. 4 tires on the menu. Wolfenbarger and Giglio have not figured out a way around this 54. However, we have not had a long enough green flag run to see if maybe that 16 was saving tires, was going to use that later in the end there. I think that's why he had dropped back a couple positions, but now we're going to level that playing field. A lot of cars were on 38 laps on the stint, ran the full run for stage 1, but he had a few drivers in the mix there that had topped off with fuel, like Kenny Frisbee, Brantley Bryant, now all finding their stalls. A lot of cars having opportunities to repair from that lap 1 incident. And a few drivers staying out to get their laps back. Justin Clapper will get a wave by. If he can, actually, he brought it down pit road, so he is not going to get the waiver route. 54, Dobbs down and away. 16 with a speeding penalty here on pit road. Giglio falling to the back. Maybe a mistake there in the box for the 16. Let's go back on our replay and see really quickly if the 16 missed his pit stall. Usually a hold penalty would have held him longer than that. He did not have any problems in the stall. Left side or right side tires go up about the same time as the top 3. Left sides go up. Not really sure if he forgot to take fuel. He sits there for quite a while. The lights are out on the pace car. And your stage 1 winner, Alan Dobbs, will be the command car for this restart. Stage 2 coming up here on lap 41. The top 10 stays about the same. A shout out here to Galen Wunsch. He started in 13th, right now looking really stout. He had a very early incident. Looks like that car is repaired back to full health. And he's right on the edge of the top 5 here for this restart. Could very easily go up there and snag it away. You have the 22 of Jason Blaney, who started with a penalty in this one after last week at COTA. A lot of drivers not happy with him. He has a lot of work to do, but he has made his way to the top 10 at 8th position. Quentin Stewart, who needs stage points, he got him. 9th place there for the 99, actually 10th. And he should be good for this restart as well. Pace car, left-hand turn, and our second portion of this race. Stage 2, week 9. Dobbs on the loud pedal, back underway at Homestead. closer. Cars coming off of turn 4. Quinn Stewart trying to hold his own with the 81. Orion Field trying to go around. Outside for the number 81. Car loose in front of him. That's a teammate, the 52. Apparently Bryant loses a ton of spots there going through 1 and 2. He's going to continue to fall through to 18th position. Bryant's car settles out. Rego behind him there. Some of these guys early in this cold tire run have had problems. We've seen it a few times already tonight where cars have stepped out and gotten loose, but everybody able to avoid it. And yet again, everyone heads up driving, able to get around the 52. Wunsch loses a spot. Kenny Frisbee goes by on the inside, as does Jason Blaney. Bradley Wilson works his way back up to third. He was here a moment ago. He's going to work on the back of Wolfenbarger. He's going to get loose again. This might open up the door for Picklesheimer into 3. Watch the hands on this car. Seems like out of 2, Wilson a lot looser than everyone else. Able to catch the car up near the wall. And it looks like Justin Clapper out of the event as well. Not exactly sure what happened to Clapper. But done for the day in the 27th position. Watching the battle just behind Picklesheimer with Frisbee trying to find a way around the 22 of Blaney. The lead is stretched out to over a second there briefly. High line approach here for Frisbee. He's going to get the run down the backstretch. A quick 2. Nicely executed there for Frisbee to the top 5. Closest battle on the racetrack right now. And another close one back here with Likens. 5-car Wisnowski sideways on the apron. He's saving it. He's still trying to save it. He's able to get it back under him. But Ethan Wisnowski with a mistake touching the apron gets it shot sideways in the HendricksCars.com Chevrolet. It's going to fall back to 21st. Right there you can see just tags the apron. Ever so slight tag on the apron will do that to these cars. That front splitter digs into the racetrack, and it actually gotten a little loose from maybe air packed from Ruck Regal before that moment, but the apron sent him all the way to the inside grass. A lot going on back here outside the top 10. Up 19 spots here for Johnny DePasquale. Started in 32nd. That was last place here tonight. He's passed over half this field to get up here and on the edge of the top 10. Shout out to what the 1 car has been able to do. And look back here at the lead. A little bit of time was lost last time by. About 2/10. Wolfenbarger starting to reel Dobbs back in here on lap 51. Gave a 10th of it back just now. It looks like Wolfenbarger maybe was saving his tires a little bit. Now we're starting to even out. Dobbs is not pulling that lead off anymore. Could have been a mistake from the 54 as well. They gave up a lot of that time. And Wolfenbarger has happened to push it pretty good as Bradley Wilson, our points leader, looks to the outside. Right now, it doesn't look like 3 in a row for the 32. Side by side with Frisbee and Blaney. This will be Blaney's first time in the top 5. Starting back in 15th. Now, took a glimpse at it. Almost up 10 positions. He'll do it again here in 3 and 4. Both side by side at the door. Still not able to clear. There's Galen Wunsch, Quentin Stewart about to battle. Stewart a lot faster that last time by. Like Giglio all the way back to 9th here. Remember, he had to recover from that pit stop. He had let pretty much the entire field by. Over 20 cars went around him there. Not sure why there was such a holdup, as he's going to make contact with the 99 and send him sideways. Giglio up into the 99 off of turn 2. Trying to get a better look at this from our blimp camera. 99 had Wunsch to the outside here out of the exit of turn 2. There's a little room to the right of the 99, but the 99 really didn't come down. The 16 just kept coming up. Stewart with right front damage on this machine, back to 11th. Car and Dobbs down on the apron here. 14 laps down for Dobbs. Or Dowdy, rather. Excuse me. Austin Dowdy. There's Dobbs going by on the outside. Lead starting to shrink ever so slightly. The 51 of Wilson able to get around the 32. He had put the pressure on him for quite a few laps, able to get by. And Brantley Bryant might have crashed his car. It looks like pretty clean. Might have went sideways for a minute. A lot of different lines being ran right now to catch up to this 54 car. Wall riding seems to be the answer as we come up on halfway here at Homestead. Right at that mark. Half a lap to go. Let's go ahead and find those volume knobs and let's crank it up. Presented by MSR Performance. Let's crank it up, presented by MSR Performance, and a caution is out. Brad Pennington, heavy damage into the outside wall on the backstretch. Austin Dowdy sideways in front of him, comes back up the racetrack. And Dowdy, the culprit here. And I said nowhere to go. That's right in front of the leaders. This will bring everybody down pit road halfway through this event. Hobbs leads them in. 33 of Christian Ruck Regal is going to stay out. Everybody else down pit road. Dobbs has been able to maintain, and with 100% fuel, these drivers should be pretty close to making it all the way to the end of this race. .32, really close off of pit road there. It looks like Alan Dobbs going to win, as we had a three-way battle there with Giglio. 54 of Alan Dobbs going to be your leader for this next restart. Don't go anywhere. We have more coverage to continue of the QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series live on V-Speed. The one at Goons 180 from Homestead. Back with more after this.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Walking and rolling costume started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Back here live at Homestead, Rodrigo, who had stayed out there on that last pit stop, he got taken 3 wide on that restart and ends up falling back to 3rd. Dobbs ran it perfectly to get up to the outside, but here we go for the lead. Wilson going to take a stab at it into 1. And 1 in Goons all over the 54, who's dominated half of this race. Now on the attack for the second half. 68 laps now into this event for week number 9. Dobbs trying to add another victory to his repertoire. Wolfenbarger trying to go 3 in a row. And Bradley Wilson, who has the points lead by a pretty sizable margin coming into tonight, looking to get his 4th win of the season. Here in 6th position with Giglio inside of Kenny Frisbee and Wyatt McCombs. 22 of Blaney trying to follow him through this traffic, and a lot of side-by-side here from 5th place on back. You have Ethan Wisnowski, Ryan Philbrick, who was involved in an incident earlier in this race. Christian Ruckriegel, who stayed out, stuck on the outside here with the 81 down low. On board with Al Likens in the number 3. He has a run on the 33 of Ruckriegel. Gonna take it to the inside now. 5 of Wisnowski, and they're side by side here for 13th. Just in front of Likens. Car sideways on the black backstretch. That is Blake Giglio in the 16 car. Might have brought out that yellow, not entirely sure. He's off the racing surface enough here. Yeah, contact with the 22. It's coming off of turn 2 here. Giglio actually got loose and then the contact happened. He was wiggling before that. And we'll watch it on board with Jason Blaney. Watch the 16 get a little bit wiggly up the track. He's doing everything he can. He popped out of the throttle 2 or 3 times to avoid that. And it wasn't enough. Giglio able to save it. Picks up a little bit of right side damage. But that puts us under caution here again. 72 laps in, and Bradley Wilson has the lead. Do we get any drivers down pit road? I would venture to say the 33 of Ruck Regal regrets staying out there. Did not gain him anything. He fell back to 16th, but now he'll be on fresh tires. 99 of Quentin Stewart down, the 37, the 13. Quite a few cars coming in to get some damage repaired. Stewart going to try to get as much fixed as possible. Well, we're going to find a driver here in QSR to bring up into the booth. Cavalier Racing driver and the 199, Galen Wunsch. It's Bradley Cooper. Do you have a copy?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, pretty good for you. You've been riding around the top 10 all night long. The 199 looks fast enough to pull off a top 10 here, but just not able to show any long runs here. Caution's coming just about every 25 laps.
I'm having to flip sides. I take lefts once, and then I take rights the next, and then lefts. I haven't been able to take all four yet.
We got 4 tire sets available here tonight. Do you think a 2-tire call could possibly end up winning this race at the end?
No, I think you gotta be pretty well set with these guys. These guys are, and these top 10 guys are tough.
Well, anything you would like to add to that? I know this car looks like it's a handful tonight. Anything you want to add?
Oh, it is. Oh my God. No, just hope I can just bring it home.
Galen Wunsch, 199, going to restart here on the outside in row number 4. Good luck.
Thank you.
So a little bit's changed, but not much. The top 5 pretty constant here tonight, with the exception of that 10 car who's right on the edge of it. Wyatt McCombs going to restart in 6th. Kenny Frisbee to his inside. What did change was the lead, and now Dobbs is not the command car for this restart. Can he match the pace of the 51? Here we go for lap 75 out of 120. Back underway, a little bit of wheel spin on the outside, and the 51 will have the advantage going into turn 1. Wolfenbarger on the inside, trying to get some side force off of the 54 machine. An earlier downshift for Dobbs. We'll look onto the outside. Here comes another one of GOONS machine, trying to make clear. The 32 pops up in front, and Picklesheimer loses a spot. Now it's up to Wyatt McCombs for the top 5. Here he goes to the inside. They continue side by side for the 5th spot. Just behind them, Jason Blaney, Blake Giglio, who we saw sideways a minute ago. He's already back up to 9th. Ryan Philbrick in the 06 on the high side. They peak 3 wide with Likens in 12th. 81 trying to push his teammate through this. Controlling that air as Bradley Wilson holds on to the lead by just 1/10 of a second that time by. 32 of Wolfenbarger looking down low. Late apex for the 54 of Dobbs. He's going to get a decent run here out of turn 2. He'll peek to the inside. Another look for the lead from Alan Dobbs. 51 scrapes the wall. Not going to be able to clear off of 4. He'll be at his door. Dobbs falls back. And the caution's out. Tony Burlington in the 79 around. And the engine has expired on this machine. Wisnowski behind him, just packed air on that car. 38 and Nathan Line, nowhere to go there. Gets a piece of it. And I want to say Nathan Line probably okay. But the 79 in Burlington, not okay. Hard impact to the outside wall. It's right on board with Wisnowski. You can see he never really touches him, but he puts air on the back of that spoiler. We saw that a couple times tonight, where air on the back of these cars has sent them around. It looks like contact because they surge and get really close, but they never actually touch. And we'll watch it one more time off the back end of the 79. You'll see right here, it's close, but there's no actual contact here at all. Man, I would not want to be Quentin Stewart through that. And Stewart probably half a mile behind this where it all begins. Able to make it through though. Down pit road from the 99 to get some more damage repaired. 40 laps to go from Homestead, and Bradley Wilson defending the lead quite well against Alan Dobbs, who led the first half of this race. Will it be Wilson leading the second half? Wolfenbarger looking to go 3 in a row. Frisbee, Pickles, Seimer, McCombs, Wunsch, Blaney. Back with more here on V-Speed right after this.
Just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Welcome back here to our coverage. QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series action. 51 of Bradley Wilson and Alan Dobbs on the outside. 2 drivers that have dominated the points this season, looking to dominate this race as we go back underway. If you're just joining us, it's been 8 cautions, 9 lead changes. You could probably subtract a couple of those. The 32 mess with the telemetry there under caution, but here's a stab at the lead on the outside from the 54 down the backstretch. Stage 1 winner Alan Dobbs looking to take the lead back into 1. He's going to go back to the outside in 3 and 4.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops.
little bit of a technical mistake there. So we come back to the race action. Caution is out, though. Brent Allen around in 1 and 2. I think my stream deck decided we needed another commercial there. So we're under caution now for the 9th time tonight. Quentin Stewart involved in this one. 48 around as well. Nelson. What happened to the 13? Looked like he was loose by himself. Downshifted too many times. Put it into 3rd gear, and around she went. As that caution fell to 54, took the lead back. And everybody gonna stay out behind him. Gonna bury Dobbs deep in this field with about 35 to go on the restart. That is a lot of cars that are on the same page. I don't know. I think they're going to do whatever Alan Dobbs doesn't do. If Dobbs comes out, stays out, they're going to pit. If he comes in, they're going to stay out. Just one of those reaction to whatever the leader does. And he'll end up back in around the 18th position. 4 tires and a full tank of fuel for the 54. Might have taken a little less fuel to keep the weight down on the car. But with 35 to go, you gotta wonder if all these drivers can make it on fuel to the end of this thing if we go green. Dobbs will want to save his tires the best he can on this restart. Plus, he's back in traffic. This could be a race-changing scenario. So the lights will go out on the pace car this time by. So it's 1 in Goons for the top 3 and 4 out of the top 5 for this restart. Iglio back to 5th position after contact with the 22. Got a little loose in front of him. They're back side by side for this restart. We've seen the end of these fireworks, or will we see the fireworks at the end? Green flag all the way from this point on. Based off what we've seen so far, I think we still have another caution left in us. As these cars are grouped back up, a lot of hungry cars that are yet to win this season, and 2 of them that have victories in the regular season. Wilson, command car, restart. Wolfenbarger on the outside. Picklesheimer giving him a push. Not a great restart for the 32 as they dive into turn 1. An elevator move there by Dylan Picklesheimer to the inside of Ryan Philbrick. He'll have the run on the 32, trying to follow the 18 of Frisbee by. There's Giglio on the high line. Picklesheimer back to 5th. Looking 3 wide here off of 2. Picklesheimer got a 2 for 1 up to the 3rd spot. Touches the apron a little bit, now touches the door of the 16 coming off of turn 4. It's a drag race down. Across the line, though, the 18 has the advantage. Frisbee back to 5th. And into the wall for the 16 at Giglio. Picklesheimer might just drive away this time. He will. Checking back in with Alan Dobbs in the 54. He's worked his way up to 12th, but he'll have much older tires if these guys get another caution and flip this race. 35 and 81 ride each other up to the outside wall. Dobbs is going to go by. They're still crashing. 81's trying to hold on to it. He will. Ryan Field going to go 3 wide again here through 3 and 4. 33 of Ruck Regal moves him up the track. 37 is loose. Some of these one and Goons cars sideways. Oh, and Lycan sideways as well. He's not going to save it. The 3 cars crashing. Option is out. 85 around. In the middle of the racetrack, Likens and Walker. Dobbs picks up a piece of that, and that might be race-ending damage or race-winning damage there. I don't think that the 54 is going to be able to contest these leaders anymore. What happened to Al Likens here to get him so sideways? Didn't check up at all for this one. That's the second time tonight we've seen a car get loose in front of him and he doesn't lift. And here's the contact and he just powers in there. That's already happening though. It's on the 3 car there. Right on board with Likens. Looks like he gets loose on the entrance of 1 and 2. Scoots up the racetrack, it's into Philbrick, and then they just continue to check up. Probably could have kept the car straight enough to save it there, but the 22 just runs into the back of him and sets off another caution here with around 25 laps to go. And now what I was talking about earlier, Dobbs has the lead. We flipped the entire race, flipped the script here with 25 to go. But this doesn't bode well for Dobbs. He has right front damage now. He was involved in that incident. So his situation is red line, as in on the back of that car. Austin Thomas on the outside. Brantley Bryant stays out as well. And there's the drivers coming off of pit road now. At the 51 and Bradley Wilson losing a spot. The Wolfenbarger. We have Austin Thomas on the racetrack. Turn 1 Tsunami's driver, the 35. Do you got a copy?
I do. How are you?
Well, I don't know what kind of scenario this race has produced for you. It's kind of 22 laps on the stint. I know the tires are holding up a little bit better. They're evening out pretty quickly. But it seems like everybody from 8th place back waited and saved those tires for this restart.
Yeah, that's what we've done. All of T1Ts. That's what we're trying to do. Just save a set for the end. I'm kind of sitting on a warning line right now. I've got 15 out of 16 incidents for a drive-through caused by other people, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to see what we can do here.
Oh, we're doubled back up here, Austin. Good luck out there on the front row. Maybe with that damage on the 54, maybe go up there and lead some laps.
Gonna try to. We'll see. It's Dobbs. You know how that is.
Yep. Good luck, man.
See you, buddy.
Turn 1 Tsunami's driver, Austin Thomas. No camera with him tonight. Not sure what the deal is there with him. Previous caution there with Likens and Philbrick. 22 Blaney into the back of the 3. Austin Dobbs picked up some right front damage from that last one. 25 laps to go here from Homestead. Do we run it out green till the end? The one of Goons cars hoping not. Brantley Bryant has a real opportunity here. I know Dobbs with that right front. Gonna try his best to hold on to it, but it's the straightaway speed. You can see Bryant with a hellacious run off of turn 2. Brent Allen around into the inside wall. Caution's out. Contact with the 32. That was Wolfenbarger on the outside. We'll get at a look one more time from the blimp camera. 13's going to get loose on his own right here. You can see it already. Pushing up the racetrack. 51 there. Able to avoid it. 32 tries to fit it in 4 wide. And the 33, or 13 rather, into the inside wall. And Dobbs will continue to stay out here. 12 laps on the stint. He has enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. But if we keep having yellows, this is going to diminish the opportunity that Bradley Wilson and Garrett Wolfenbarger have. You have Blake Giglio there in that mix as well to get back to this top spot. Kenny Frisbee leading that group of cars that came down pit road just a moment ago. 4 laps on the stint. We've only ran maybe maybe a half lap under green. They definitely have the pace, the drivers in front of them. 12 laps for Galen Wunsch on the tires, and Nathan Line a little bit older. The oldest tires, 35 laps for Brantley Bryant. So he's going to have a little bit harder time getting around Dobbs, even though he has that damage. The lights are still on the pace cars. You watch Mitchell Costner go by for one of his 3 laps back. Free pass position going to the 92. We'll get set to go back green in just a moment's time. 5 races left to the playoffs, 4 1/4 if you want to count this one. Back with more on V-Speed in just a moment.
got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Back here underway, green flag, Bryant on the outside. Great jump there for the 52. He's going to be all the way up high here through 1 and 2. The restart here with Dobbs, and that right front damage looks like it's hindering him on his restarts. 35 now to the outside. And Dobbs will fall back a position. It's Brantley Bryant with the lead. And the 38 and Nathan Linus around. Cautions, breeding cautions here tonight at Homestead. Nathan Lyne started in 25th, now back to 21st. He was running about mid-pack when this incident happened. This looks like contact there. Not sure if we can get a better look at it from the camera. It's just a weird move there. 18 comes up a little bit. 38's kind of down lower off the wall than you would expect. They meet right there in the middle. He's on board with Frisbee. Brantley Bryant takes over the lead. I don't have the ability to interview mid-race on any of the drivers in one of GOONS. If you ever wonder why I don't pull these guys up into the broadcast booth mid-race, they're not in the Discord that I'm in. I broadcast from QSR Simulation, so these drivers create a channel and hop in there. I'll be able to... They're using the GOONS Squad Chevy and GOONS Squad Ford, and I haven't seen any of these guys come in here tonight. I do see Wyatt McCombs and GOONS Squad Ford muted. Car back out on the racetrack after coming down pit road. Looks like he's going to burn his final set. and get some damage repaired in the 10. And now we're down to 15 to go for this restart. Lights are out on the pace car. And double back up with another new leader. 12 cautions, 13 lead changes. Alan Dobbs, your stage 1 winner. And you're slowly seeing those drivers on fresher tires creep into the picture. Who's it going to be here? Will Brantley Bryant figure out a way to lock himself into the playoffs? Or does Alan Dobbs add another win to the season? Do the drivers that pitted earlier figure out a way back by? 18's around right at the restart. And another caution. This is Kenny Frisbee. I'm going to take a guess and say that Frisbee was in the wrong gear. No, he's in second gear. The inside just doesn't get going. When the 9 car hits the loud pedal, the 18's not ready. Wheel spin. Watch from the blip camera on the 18. There's some initial contact with a little bit of a checkup on Wunsch, and then the 18 runs into the back and spins the tires. A lot going on here in a short amount of time. These laps continuing to tick away. Again, it's taking away a chance for Giglio and Wilson, all those guys, to get up here and take away this lead. You got drivers that are, 10, 15 lap fresher tires back here. They can't do anything with it. Every time we go green, there's a caution within a lap or two. And it's really putting a damper on the race for these guys. But then you have Brantley Bryant. The name up front now, started in 28th, 27 positions gained. If he wins this race, he'll get the driver of the day, hands down. He's on older tires than the car he just passed by about 20 laps. He's got Austin Thomas, Christian Regal, a few others that are on fresher tires behind him as well. So if he holds these guys off in these final 10 or so laps, the tires have pretty much cooled off here. Got to be careful with the tire spin on these restarts. Dobbs looking to get back to the lead. I don't know if Thomas has anything for him here. I know that a little bit fresher tires, but it's going to be difficult. We need a green flag run here till the end to find out who's the fastest in this top 10. 11 laps to go when the pace car pulls off. Bentley Bryant ready to go. 52 command car. Damage on Dobbs. Thomas, we're back underway. Already a dive to the inside for the 16 on the 5 of Wisnowski. It's not going to work yet. The 52's losing it on his own up front. And Austin Thomas finds his way to the lead. Down the backstretch for the 35. And he's got about 0.4 of a second there out of 2. Dobbs checking up. 10 to go. Across the line. Off the back end of Austin Thomas. Car in the wall. That's the 5 of Wisnowski. He's going to lose it down to the inside. Caution's out again. Lost it on his own there. Car getting loose. Older tires for Wisnowski, and this might spell trouble for Thomas, but it might also be a blessing in disguise. I don't know exactly how this will work out for the 35. Now they have Bradley Wilson, Blake Giglio just behind him on this restart. Again, 2 green-white checkered attempts at our disposal here tonight. We talked to Thomas earlier in this race. They didn't know if he could get around Dobbs. He said, come on, it's Dobbs. You know how it is. Fast guy. But now look at it. Where he sits, he doesn't have to worry about it. The 52 getting loose creates a scenario that the 35 goes by on the outside, heads up driving there. And from what we're seeing right now, it'll be around 5 to go when we go back green. He's just got to hold him off. He's going to have his hands full. Two of the most dominant cars of the day now, second and third. Wolfenbarger back in 8th. Trego back up to 7th. Top 10 continues to change hands. And the 35 of Thomas going to take the outside for this restart. Austin Thomas needs a win. This could be his moment to get that. With Wilson, Dobbs, Giglio, Stewart, and Wolfenbarger locked in to the playoffs. Austin Thomas right now. Would love to have a victory. As we get set to go back green. All ready for the 16 of Giglio, getting to the outside of Dobbs. Gonna go 3 wide. Dobbs in the middle down the backstretch. Defense being played back here. Nicholsheimer and Dobbs make contact. Thomas looking in his mirror. 5 to go. And the caution's going to come out. The 33 down the racetrack. And we're in green-white checker territory as Alan Dobbs is involved as well. And the car that led much of this race, over half the laps completed, now back to 21st. There's contact off of turn 2. Heavy impacts with the inside wall for both these cars. Back it up one more time for the blimp camera. There's the initial contact with the 33-54. 54 comes back off the wall. 33 gets loose. And that will put Austin Thomas in a very big predicament with Bradley Wilson right behind him. 20 lap fresher tires. Nathan Line done for the day. Christian Rodrigo, damage on his machine. Alan Dobbs on pit road. 3 of these cars looking to get back out and salvage this race. Quentin Stewart has found his way back close to the top 10 now. And it's the one in Goons who controlled the second half of this race now into the picture for another victory on the season. Thomas electing to take the outside for this restart. Overtime from Homestead. 120 laps wasn't enough. Can Austin Thomas hold him off? He's going to have to get out to a great restart. He's about to have his hands really full. 3 drivers locked into the playoffs right behind him. Thomas, this would be his third win at QSR if he can get it done. Pace car's off. 2 to go when we take that green flag. Austin Thomas trying to make it happen with 20-lap older tires. Wheel spin in the background. Car in the wall. That's a 1 in Goons 18. Side by side into 1. Wilson, your points leader, going to take over the top position. And Thomas is going to try to hold on to third spot. Here comes Jason Blaney to the outside. A dive down low. Wolfenbarger, who's not been up front for most of the day, takes it to the inside on the teammate. White flag one more time around Homestead. If you want to, Wilson might get loose off of 2. He's been doing it a lot here tonight, but he holds on to it this time. They're crashing in the back of the field. Brantley Bryant's around, the 1 of Di Pasquale, the 16 of Giglio. They're scattering everywhere. And off of turn 4 on the outside, it's Bradley Wilson getting the victory in the 9th race of the regular season. Big crash in the mid-pack of this field. This race interviews with your top 3 as Austin Thomas is able to hold on to that podium position. Look at all the 1 in Goons cars burning it down here on the front stretch. Don't go anywhere. More coverage will continue on the 1 in Goons 180 here on V-Speed.
Walking and rolling costumes started when my son Reese was born with cancer.
So when I was 3 years old, I got my first wheelchair.
And he wanted to be Wall-E for Halloween that year. And so I knew you couldn't buy a costume to go on a wheelchair at that time. So I knew I had to build one.
My dad ended up building a Wall-E costume out of a Dell computer box.
When we were all finished, he loved it. We took pictures of it and shared it on social media. So many people started sharing it that we started getting requests from people we didn't know.
In 2015, we decided to build them for other kids because people were asking, hey, can you build them for my kid?
So we started the nonprofit organization, Walking and Rolling Costumes, and we build costumes for kids all over the nation, free of charge to the families.
Is going to take the victory 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
This race coverage here from Homestead, week number 9, 120 laps was not enough. 121 rather. We extend this race into overtime, and Bradley Wilson finds his way back to victory lane. 15 cautions and 15 lead changes, and a few of those maybe messed with the telemetry here tonight, but it was Alan Dobbs for stage 1. He ends up falling out of the top 10 after a late race caution. The 33 of Christian Ruck Regal. Final results up on your screen, though, with Wolfenbarger in second position. Austin Thomas will get a word with those drivers in just a moment's time. Jason Blaney and Trevor Trigo for the top 5. Then you have Dylan Picklesheimer, Galen Lunch, Wyatt McCombs, Ethan Wisnowski, and Quentin Stewart for the top 10. 11th spot goes to Al Likens. Brent Allen will finish in 12th. Nathan Line 13th. Alan Dobbs going to finish in 14th. 15th position with Christian Ruck Regal. Mitchell Costner 16th. Ryan Field in 17th. Johnny DePasquale still up and up for him, but not the finish that he was expecting. 18th position. Blake Giglio also not a finish he was expecting. Back to 19th. Brentley Bryant had the lead with the second to last caution. He'll finish in 20th after getting loose in 1 and 2. Jeremiah Nelson 21st for him. Kenny Frisbee the 18. Got sideways on that last restart. Ryan Philbrick, tough day for him. Wyatt Walker, the day started tough and got worse. He's going to finish 13 laps down. 15 laps down for Hayden James in 25th position. Tony Burlington in the 79 will finish in 26th. Fred Pennington off the track. Austin Dowdy done for the day. Justin Clapper out early. Then you go back here with John Fike in 30th, Jesse Gordon and John Walker in the number 84. Now it's time to talk to your top 3, and the first driver that we're going to pull up into the broadcast booth, it's your winner, Bradley Wilson. He adds another one to the win column, and this one was no give me. The race changed strategies 20 different times here tonight. It seemed like every time you guys made a choice, there was something on the reversal 2 or 3 laps later that undid all of it.
Oh yeah, it totally an up and down race. If you would have told me at the beginning of the race it would be even top 3, I would have said you're lying. But I mean, being 2 for 2 for drive-throughs, so maybe I just need to get more of those. I don't know, but just shout out the 51 team for always finding a way to come on top, no matter kind of which way the track tried to screw us.
Well, in the drive-through penalties, I know that you said you're 2 for 2 on it, though we only have 4 races left, and you probably don't want to start races off like that when we get playoff time. I don't know what your opinion is, but I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, it depends. If we can keep pulling off wins from getting them, then I'll take as many as they'll give me.
Well, you and Alan Dobbs went toe-to-toe there in the second half of this race, and it wasn't until the second half that you really showed the top three. Did you feel like this car, had you not got that penalty, would have been up front leading this race from the start?
Maybe not leading. When Dobbs was out front, he was really, really hard to even just gain like just a little bit of time on him. But luckily on the restart, we were able to get that run, dive it down low, slide up, and take it there. But I feel like we had a top three car no matter what. Just screwed the pooch in qualifying, hit the wall too many times. But just, it never fails for this 51 team to somehow pull something out of the garage for me.
Congratulations on adding another victory onto the season. You were already locked in, but this is another playoff point towards that total, and looking pretty good here for the postseason. Anybody you want to shout out while we have you up here again?
Guys, shout out one of GOONS, OG Gear, for bringing me on board for this season, and hopefully many more. You for broadcasting this, Quentin for putting this on, everyone for showing up and racing. It was a lot of fun. Got to thank all the one of GOONS teammates, Garrett, Blake, Trevor, Wyatt, Kenny, Davis, Ryan, Brantley, everyone. I love them all. Love them to death. Austin for being on 49 lap old tires and still finished third. That's a hell of a feat in itself. And just everyone watching at home, that makes this a lot of fun to watch.
Congratulations again on another victory, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week at New Hampshire.
All right, thank you, sir. Hopefully.
That is Bradley Wilson adding his fourth win to the column, and now it's time to talk to the driver that tried to go three in a row here tonight, Garrett Wolfenbarger. The Wolfen Great, the Wolfen Banger. It was going three in a row. It looked close, but, you know, the car never really seemed to come to you. You were always kind of riding there in the second position to somebody.
Yeah, man. I just trying to go for that three-peat, just couldn't do it. Dirty Air was just really bad, and sitting in second, it kind of just, that guy in the front just had the clean air and just could go wherever he wanted to, and I just kept getting tight. Just kind of ran there and got some good stage points, and then thought maybe we could try to sneak a spot off pit road, maybe. Just never happened, and then decided to go in there towards the end and thought it was going to screw us there, but luckily just ran really aggressive there and got back through the field and thought maybe we had a chance at Bradley, just not enough.
Well, and you go back to that decision to come down pit road. Had we not had all those cautions, you guys probably would have been up here with, 5 or 6 to go.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd clean it up after we got all those yellows. It never happened. We just kept going, and I was getting nervous there for a minute. I went back. I think I was in like 14th place or something. I had a bad restart and got really tight on the new tires once, and thought I was going to ruin it for us, but luckily the cautions laid out okay where we got on the outside there, and we got through all those people and got us another top 3, so we'll definitely take it.
Had a couple close calls in this race as well, avoiding accidents. Actually had a scrape on a car there down the front stretch, if I remember correctly, but you're able to luck out, avoid the carnage.
Yeah.
Second place here, and that's 3 podiums in a row now, so we can say 3 in a row for Wolfenbarger. Congratulations. Anybody want to shout out while we have you in the booth? Yeah,
thanks, man. Definitely want to thank everyone on One Goons, OG Gear for sponsoring, Brantley Bryant for making the paint, you for broadcasting, and then everyone on the QSR team for making this league possible and just letting us be out here and race every week. So thanks to them, and then everyone else for showing up too. Had a big field, 32 cars out here, so appreciate everyone for showing up, and on the next week.
On the next week at New Hampshire, Wolfenbarger, we'll see you then.
Yeah, thank you.
Second place finisher in the number 32. And finally, it's time to talk to Austin Thomas in the number 35 machine. And it's the only driver with a camera, so we're going to bring it up here. Austin Thomas, I tell you what, I don't show my bias very often here, but we've got 2 drivers behind you there on that last restart that are already locked in. They're good to go. They don't need any more victories, and you need one. You need to win here. It just didn't fall in place. I mean, the restarts, it seemed like it was hard to get this car going with 48 laps on the tires.
Yeah, I wish. I think it was at like lap 112 when we went green. I wish we would have stayed green there. I got a big lead out front. Um, it's just that last restart, I didn't get a push from behind. Bradley, he did. From Blake, I believe it was. So I just didn't go anywhere. I'm still happy with the top 3 finish, just outside the playoffs right now. So hopefully we can keep on getting some good finishes. You know me, last season before that, I'm a second half part of the season type of driver. So hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Well, you still have the motivation behind you every single week, and I don't know if you have anything for, postseason. Maybe we changed up on the green screen.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely got to change it for the postseason if we make it. If we don't, I got to keep them on there. But I have been thinking about every day what I want to put back behind me.
On top of that, Austin, I know that you tune into these broadcasts. You've got somebody out there supporting you that's tuning into these every single week. A lot of people put this 35 car on the racetrack, another podium finish. And I know that this season hasn't went your way. Does New Hampshire change it?
I do believe New Hampshire is one of my stronger tracks. We ran it in the preseason before trying to figure out the schedule and all that, and I ran top 3 the whole entire time, especially with like Bradley and stuff. The only person that I think that could beat me next week, and I'm going to put all my money on it, is Ryan Philbrick. He's had some bad luck, but he is an absolute animal at New Hampshire.
We're looking for the 06 to lead a lot of laps. You heard it from Austin Thomas. Anybody you want to shout out besides the 06 before we let you go?
Of course, my girlfriend's always watching. Her family's watching. My parents are watching. Shout out to my grandmother. She's not feeling the best, but she still tunes in every Tuesday night, no matter what, to watch us. Bradley, let me say, she and my grandfather are a huge fan of you. They love you. I'm gonna probably get a phone call from them here in a few minutes, and they're always bragging about you. So shout out to them. Shout out to you. Shout out 5 Hour Energy. I got some friends from work watching. Yeah, that's about it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. That's, that's kind of surreal. I never thought I'd have fans. I'm not the real Bradley Cooper, just to make that clear so they know. I don't know if you've been telling them that, but if that's the case, then that would make sense. Outside of that, Austin, thank you for coming up here in the broadcast booth and another podium finish for the 35 car. It's been a minute, but we'll get you back up here, hopefully in victory lane.
Alrighty. Hey, Bradley, before I go, maybe I need to put Bradley Cooper on to make it to the postseason.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. I hope it's the little wave, the little winky wave face. Have that on loop. All right. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope you get it now.
Okay.
Austin Thomas, third place here at Homestead, going on to New Hampshire next week. Well, that's going to do it for our post-race coverage. It was a fun one here from Homestead, but man, a lot of cautions and a lot of wrecked race cars. We only had about 22, 23 cars. We do have to give driver of the day to somebody, and that would go to Mitchell Costner. This guy was 13 laps down at one point in this race, and he stuck it out for a 16th place finish. Brought it back out on the lead lap to finish this thing and passed about 5 cars. So congratulations to Mitchell Costner, driver of the day here for QSR. Looking on to next week now. Next up, it's going to be a good one. A little bit of a hybrid racetrack. New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. 1 mile racetrack. We've got plenty of racing left to be done. 4 races left in the regular season. You're watching the QSR Simulations Next Gen Cup Series. The One and Goons 180 for Miami has concluded. You can tune in every single week here on V-Speed. For everybody here, though, that helped put this on, Quentin Stewart, Adam Baker in the background for all that he does. Our other producers, Morgan Cook, Eddie Smith, Logan Threlkeld. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Homestead. We'll see you next week. Stay tracking, everybody.